Hello guys. Before I start talking about my video, I am not at school, so if you hear the dogs at any point in time during this video, I apologize in advance, and I will try to talk over them. So today I'm here to bring you my playoff predictions for the NBA. And I will start out in the West, where I would like to say I feel like anyone in the West can win because the West is just that crazy good this year. So with these matchups, I feel like every game is gonna wind up being close and really wind up going either way. But we'll start out in the West with the matchup between the Spurs and the Suns. I would like to say the Spurs would win. I feel like the Spurs are going to win, but like I said before, I don't think it's going to be like they'll probably sweep, but it's not going to be a series where it's going to be like, oh wow, the Spurs swept and every game was a blowout. I feel like the Spurs could possibly sweep and every game could be decided by single digits. But in that, I see the Spurs I do see the Spurs either sweeping or Dallas potentially winning one game. So I would say Spurs in 4 or 5. Leaning towards probably Spurs in 5. Seeing Dallas win one in Dallas. Then we go down to the Rockets and the Trailblazers. I feel like this is going to be a very fun and interesting series. I feel like this series has potential to go definitely 6, possibly 7 games. Two, young, up-and-coming teams. And I see the Rockets winning this one in 7 because of home court. Taking that home court and taking advantage of it in Game 7 and winning this series in 7. Then we go down to the Clippers and the Warriors, where I feel like every game in this series will be very high-paced. There will be a lot of points scored, and it's just going to be massive craziness on the court. Like, I feel like there's potential to be 300 points scored in every game in the series. But the Clippers and the Warriors, that's a crazy first round matchup. The Clippers at the 3 seed and the Warriors at the 6 seed. The Warriors pulled it off last year as the 6 seed, and I do feel like they are better this year than they were last year. But they're not playing last year's Denver Nuggets this year. They're playing the Clippers. The Clippers are a good team. They're one of the strongest teams in the West, and they almost got the 2 seed. This is going to be one hell of a series. I'm gonna say I'm picking the Warriors. I'm picking the Warriors in 6 in this series. Warriors in 6 over the Clippers. In games that might be decided, like buzzer beaters might decide games in this series. This is going to be a crazy series. And then we have the Thunder and the Grizzlies in the 2 versus 7 matchup. As a Thunder fan, I know that in the playoffs, the Grizzlies always find a way to beat us. But I don't see that happening this year. Westbrook's back, Westbrook's healthy. I see the Thunder sweeping the Grizzlies, but in games that will be extremely close. Just like much of the other games in the West in the first, all the games in the West are going to be close. There's not going to be any blowouts in the Western Conference, I don't think. Now, advancing on to the second round in the West with my predictions, we would have the Spurs against the Rockets, where I see the Spurs and the Rockets. Wow. I really just feel like anyone can win the West this year. I'm gonna go with the Spurs. The Spurs experience over the Rockets. Spurs in 6. Spurs in 6 over the Rockets because of their experience alone. Next year's Houston's year. This year's not their year. And then we'll have, based on my predictions, the Warriors against the Thunder in the second round for the West. And I would have to pick the Thunder in another series where there would be a lot of points scored, and in games where I will probably have a heart attack because of how close they're going to be. But I see the Thunder. I'll say the Thunder in 7 actually, because of home court. Thunder in 7 over the Warriors. And then my Western Conference Finals matchup would be Spurs Thunder, and I would pick Thunder in 6. Winning in OKC. Now we will go on to the East, where I don't think these matchups are going to be close at all in the East. The winners that I'm going to pick on the first round, the games are going to be blowouts in the East. Pacers, Hawks. Pacers are going to sweep the Hawks. The games probably won't even be close. Bulls, Wizards. Maybe this series will be a little bit closer, but I'm picking the Bulls. I'm picking the Bulls in 5. Wizards, I'm giving the Wizards 1 win at home. Generously. Raptors, Nets. If the Raptors don't win Game 1 at home, the Nets are sweeping. If the Raptors win Game 1, they could possibly win the series, but I'm gonna pick the Nets in 5. Heat, Bobcats. Heat will sweep the Bobcats in blowouts in every game. Going on to the second round, based on my predictions, we have the Pacers and the Bulls. I can see this series potentially being a problem for the Pacers. Hibbert hasn't been stepping up. Noah is a beast. The Pacers have been struggling. They slipped into the playoffs. They free falled into the playoffs. The end of their regular season was pathetic. but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because they were so dominant for the majority of this season. And I'm going to give them this series in 7. And this series will be close. This will be a close series. Then we'll have the Heat and the Nets. The Nets are not a prototypical 6 seed. They could have very easily been 3, 4, or 5. But they also lost their last game of the regular season, losing the 5 seed and dropping to the 6 seed. And the Nets also swept the regular season series against the Heat this year. But that doesn't mean anything in the playoffs. Heat will win this series in 7. This will be another 7-game series. I see the Nets winning their home games, but the Heat protecting home court and winning their home games. And then that leaves us to the Pacers and the Heat, where I think the Pacers will take care of home court and win the series in 7. They wanted the home court for the Heat. I feel like they need to show why they wanted that home court so badly all season, and they will. So they will win that series in 7, leaving the finals to be what I predicted it to be in the preseason, the Thunder against the Pacers, where I see the Thunder winning the series because they have someone to guard, to take care of the struggling Roy Hibbert and Kendrick Perkins. This is a series where Perkins would have to be relevant on the defensive end. And I see the Thunder taking that series taking the finals from the Pacers in 6. That's pretty much how I see this year's playoffs going. Comment with what you think about my predictions. Comment with what you think is going to happen. Comment if you think I'm crazy for these predictions. And I'm just ready for some playoff basketball, which start tomorrow. And that's all I got for today. Okay, bye.